Hi everyone, this is the Aubergine Chef, and I have a quick tip I just wanted to share with you. Now you guys know that I'm not really big into making wedding cakes and tiered cakes, but every once in a while I do, and I already have the pans for a lot of them. So a lot of times you'll have the same issue that I have. How much cake batter do I need to fill a larger cake pan? Especially since most recipes come in a 9-inch pan or a 9 by 1.5, 9 by 2-inch pan, and they make 2 layers. How does that translate into this? I mean, you can't exactly put it like this. Or especially if you have those weird shaped pans, like the pillow pans or those paisley pans. So what you can do is you can actually use water to help you out. Now, if you pretend that the water is batter and you treat it like batter, what you can do is you can fill the pans with water, the pan that you know is for your recipe, and then take that pan and pour it into your larger pan. And I'll bring you in closer so you can see what I mean. Alright, so let's say that I want to use my Devil's Food chocolate cake recipe, which makes 2 9-inch cakes, and I know that they work really well in this pan. So when I fill it, I only fill it up about 2/3 of the way up. This is important because if your cake batter or your cake recipe makes you have to fill it up more or less, you want to make sure you do that. So let's say, for example, I use my vanilla chiffon genoise cake, which rises up a lot, so I fill it usually about halfway up the pan. Now again, this is not an exact science, but it helps give you at least a decent estimate to what you want to do. And remember, you want to use the same pan your recipe calls for. So if your pan says, for like a lot of red velvet cakes will use 3 8-inch pans, use an 8-inch pan. So remember to fill it up the same way that you would with your batter. So with my Devil's Food chocolate cake, again, I'd fill it up about 2/3 of the way up, and it makes 2 9-inch cakes. Alright, so this is my 9-inch by 2.5-inch pan, and this is going to be my 11 by 11 by 3-inch pan. So it's 3 inches deep, so we can pour in our first cake. Remember, this is only one layer. We haven't done a full recipe yet. So let's do it again. Alright, so that's one full cake. So this is the recipe multiplied by 1, or no multiplication at all. And you can see that it's only about 1/3 of the way filled up. So we're going to keep on going. Alright, so after about 6 of these layers, which is the recipe times 3, you can see that it's almost full. So this is a little bit too much. So really we only need about 5 layers to fill this up. So between 5 and 6. Once you know how much batter you need, you want to write it down and keep it in a safe place. And the best place I've discovered is on the back of our cake pans. Now, I have a little engraver here. I got it from the As Seen on TV section, and this one's called Engrave It. And it's just battery operated, and you just push it and the little tip vibrates, and then you can engrave into the cake pan. This is really handy, especially if you bring your tools around a lot. You can engrave your knives, your piping tips especially. Oh. So anyway, what you can do is, I hope you can see this, is I've engraved mine. It says fill with 3 9-inch chiffon genoise. It used to say 4, but then I realized that was too much. So fill with 3 9-inch chiffon genoise, and so I know from now on, anytime I want to use this pan to make a chiffon genoise cake, I just need 3 of them. So I don't have to forget it. I won't forget it, and I don't have to write it on the recipe when I can lose the recipe or end up ruining the recipe. I've also gotten here the measurements of this cake pan, which is 15 by 11, and then it serves 40 people if each of the slices are 3 by 1.5 inches. And one more thing before I let you go, don't feel like you have to waste all this water. You can use this as clean water. You just used it in clean cake pans, I hope. So you can use it to boil pasta in, fill your pet's water dish, fill your pitchers in the refrigerator, like I have a Brita filter, so I use that to fill it. All kinds of things. Water your plants. Use it in your cake recipe, like the Devil's Food chocolate cake uses water. So you don't have to just pour all this water down the drain. You can definitely save it. I hope this tip helped you guys out.